Hi guys, namaste. Welcome back to AppSec Zero. In the previous video, we discussed horizontal privilege escalation. If you haven't watched it yet, the link is provided in the description and is also accessible through the eye icon at the top. In this video, we will discuss horizontal to vertical privilege escalation and insecure direct object references vulnerability. Coming to horizontal privilege escalation, this specific context says that when attempting privilege escalation, we may sometimes come across details of higher privileged user, enabling vertical privilege escalation. Let's see how this is solved in this lab. Let's access the lab. Here it says that the lab has user account page that contains the current user's existing password pre-filled in a masked input. So password is there, but it is masked so that it is not visible. And we have to retrieve the administrator password and use it to delete Carlos. And these are the credentials that are given to us to access an account. Let's turn on burp proxy, login into our account. So these are password, and as they have mentioned, it is masked. So let's go to BurpSuite and see the password. So these are all the requests, and this is the account request that we have sent. And let's search for Peter. So this is the CSRF token that they have generated for this request for this session, and this is the password which is masked. It is masked in the front end, but we can see it in the interceptor, proxy. Yeah, so now we need to retrieve the administrative password. So let's send this to repeater. Change this from our account to administrator and send the request. As we can see, it was HTTP. Okay, there are no access controls in place. Just by changing the ID parameter, we were able to retrieve stuff here. So let's search password. So here's the CSRF token for this session, and here's the password of admin. Now that we have got password for this, let's go to our account. Let's log out and log in into admin. Now let's go to admin panel and delete Carlos. Yeah, the lab is solved. Next, let's discuss IDOR, Insecure Direct Object References Vulnerability. IDOR vulnerabilities occur when user-provided inputs are used directly to access data. Attackers can manipulate this input to gain unauthorized access, resulting in broken access control. Let's solve these labs to see how IDOR works. So here this says the lab stores user chart logs directly on the server file system and retrieves them using static URLs. To solve this lab, we need to find the password of user Carlos. Here we weren't given any user details to, understand the requests. So let's go into the lab description. Let's turn on our burp proxy. As that they have said the chart logs are directly stored on server system. Let's do some live chat. Now let's try to download our transcript. Here as we can see it's written 2.txt. So let's go to our BurpSuite and analyze this request. Here's the get request for download transcript and it was 2.txt. Let's send this to repeater and see what if I change it to 1.txt. See, we have got password of some user. So let's copy this password and try to access Carlos account, as this is the only password that we have found and the lab said we need to find Carlos password. This probably might be the password of Carlos. Yeah, the lab is solved. So coming to our next lab, here the context says that instead of just having one request to manage access of a user, there might be multiple requests in, like clicking confirm button after clicking button to promote a user. So let's see how to bypass in such scenarios. Let's access the lab, and here they have given us administrative details to make us familiarize with the requests that are being sent as an admin, and in order to solve it we need to log in with these details and promote ourselves as an administrator. So let's turn on burp proxy, log in as admin. Let's go to admin panel and try to upgrade Carlos. See here, this is the multiple steps that they have mentioned about. So instead of just clicking up promote, we need to click again saying yes. So let's go to our burp proxy and see the requests. So here there's the login request, and here there's the post request that's sent to say upgrade and confirm true. So let's see the post requests that are being sent. Okay, so there's no other post request that just says action is equal to upgrade and username is equal to Carlos. So as this is the only post request, let's send this to repeater, and let's log out of our account and log in as winner. Before that, let's clear all this and let's log into winner account. So now that we are logging in as winner, now this is the session ID which is tied with this account. So let's copy this session ID. Let's go to our repeater, paste the session ID, and now that we have to change username to our username and send the request. Let's follow the redirection, and it's HTTP. Okay, let's go to our lab. This is solved. Finally, in the last lab, we'll explore how websites enforce access controls using the referrer header and learn techniques to bypass it. Before starting the lab, I recommend reviewing the linked post for valuable context. The link is included in the description. Let's proceed to solve the lab and expand our knowledge. Let's access the lab. Here they have given us administrative details and user details, and they have said us to familiarize with administrative panel and promote ourselves to become an administrator. So let's log in as administrator. Now let's go to admin panel and let's downgrade Carlos first and let's upgrade. Now that we have request for upgrading it, let's go to our burp proxy and see the request. So here's the action for downgrading Carlos, and here's the action for upgrading Carlos. Let's send this to repeater. As we can see, there's session cookie and there's referrer header here. So now we need to replace the session cookie with our account, user account, which is winner, and let's see how it goes. Let's log out of our account first. Now let's log in as a user account. Let's get the session cookie here. Now what if, okay, we need to change the user to ourself. Now what if I change this from admin to myself? The response will be unauthorized because the access controls are in place to check if this parameter is admin so that the request is accepted. So now let's follow redirection and it's HTTP 200. Okay, let's go. And the lab is solved. Yeah. In this series of broken access control, we have focused on exploiting vulnerabilities to understand how they work. However, our ultimate goal is zero bugs, zero risk, which means promoting secure coding practices. In next video, we will discuss how to identify these vulnerabilities in code using SaaS tools and ensure that they don't arise in the first place. Stay tuned. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Keep learning, keep coding securely, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.